fold the way the fabric is. I'm going to do that and I will get back to us and we'll start sewing. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Choma Stitches and my name is Choma. Today we're going to be sewing this beautiful gown you see up there, and if this is something you are interested in, definitely keep watching, and also don't forget to subscribe and join this beautiful family. So to sew this, I'm going to be using an already drafted bustier that I made in our former class. I'm going to be leaving the link in the description box on how we drafted this upper bodice, and so you're going to go ahead and check it out. I mentioned in that video that I'm going to be using that drafted pattern again, and when I'm going to do that, I will refer you guys to that video. I'm going to be using it today for this particular one, but first I'm going to be drafting the lower bodies. So for the full length of this skirt, I'm going to be using 19 inches, but I'll make it 20 inches because I want to turn the down part inwards. Okay, so I'm going to mark in 20 inches and also half an inch for joining the lower body to the upper bodies, so I can work with 20.5 inches. Now from here, I'm going to be measuring my shoulder to the hip measurement. Okay, so for the upper bodies, our upper bodies is 17 inches. That is the full length of the upper bodies. Okay, from there, so I'm going to come down like so, to taking out the half of an inch from there. So this is my 17 inches, so it's supposed to stop when you join the upper bodies to the lower bodies. Okay, so from there you're going to take your shoulder to hip measurement. So for me, it is between 24 inches and 25 inches. That's 24.5 inches. Okay, my hip measurement, hip 43 divided by 4 is supposed to be 10.8 inches. Now I want this to be very free. It's not going to be the same measurement as the hip, only the waistline will be tight. From the hip downwards is going to be free. That is the shape of the dress. So since we're going to be sewing with 1 inch, the sewing allowance is going to be 1 inch. I'm going to be adding 2 inches for ease, or 1.5 inch for ease. So let's say 2 inches for ease. All right, so I'm going to mark this order. So what I have here now is a total of 14 inches. I'm going to mark the same 14 inches at the hem here, and I'll connect it. And also from here, I'm going to impute the waistline. The waistline of 28 inches divided by 4 is going to be 7 inches. When you add 1.5 inch sewing allowance, you're going to have this. So I'm going to mark it from here. I'm going to connect these two. So this is going to be the skirt pattern. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out and then use it to cut out the back piece. Now this is the back piece and this is the front piece, and with the sewing allowance, what I like to do is take out my zip tightening allowance from the back piece. I'm going to come down by 4.5 inches, take out half of an inch from the waistline here, and then connect it like a dart towards the 4.5 inches. Now usually it is 4 inches, but because we have half an inch added at the top for joining the upper bodies to the lower bodies, that is why I'm marking out 4.5 inches. Okay, so I'm going to take this out. Also, I'm going to come down from the waistline. I'm going to come down from the waistline by 1 inch or 1.5 inches. This is also to avoid the back gaping, and I'm going to connect this like this. I'm going to cut this out as well. I'm just marking here to indicate where the zip allowance is so that I will not miss it. Okay, so this is the lower bodies. Now let's cut out the upper bodies. Now here is the pattern for the upper bodies. I've placed it on the fabric. Okay, and I pinned it down. This is the yoke for the front and this is the yoke for the back, and we're not going to be using this upper part because the dress is going to be a spaghetti sleeve. Okay, so I'm taking this part out and I've added my sewing allowance on the sides. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out. And I'm going to cut out a straight stripe I'm going to be using for the spaghetti sleeve. For this one, I'll be ironing stay on it. So now I'm going to cut out the lining pieces exactly the way it is. I'm going to be using a black lining for it, and then I'm going to be ironing this stay, this fabric stay on this upper bodice for the upper bodice. And I'm going to be ironing this other one. This is a paper stay, okay? This is a paper stay that is stronger than this one. This one has a stronger effect. Look at how it looks. Fold it and it comes back. Look at this consistency. Okay, this one is fabric basically, and this one is paper, but it has a softness to it. It is not too strong and it is not too soft. I'm going to be ironing this one to the lower bodice. Okay guys, this is a clearer view of the paper stay. Look at how it looks. I had to put the camera very close to it so that we can see how it looks in case you want to replicate this exact design so you get the same effect. Okay, and this is the fabric stay. This is the one you call the S stay. All right, this is how it looks, very soft, and this is both of them together so you can see the difference. All right, I'm going to be ironing this all around the lower bodice. Okay, and it will be a part of it. And I also cut out my lining piece for the lower bodice. And for the lower bodice, when I'm cutting out the lining piece, I'm going to make the lining piece 1 inch shorter than the main fabric, because the main fabric is 1 inch longer than the actual length, so that we can use it for concealing the lining inside. Okay, and then I'm also going to be ironing the breast pad on this one as well. I'm going to be adding this wording on this part, and I'm going to be adding it only around the breast part area. Okay, now to create my pattern where I'm going to be putting the breast pad, I'm going to start from the under bust all the way to the top here, but from here I'm going to come in by 1.5 inch, which is somewhere around this, and then I'm going to curve this 1.5 inch here like so, stop here, and then I'll take this one this way and stop here. So the whole of this inside is going to have the breast pad, while for this place we're going to be making it from here to here, and I will cut it on fold. Okay, unfold the way the fabric is. I'm going to do that and I will get back to us and we'll start sewing. So here I've ironed this is the lower bodice. This is the lower bodice, as you can see, and I've ironed the stay on it, and I've cut out the lining pieces exactly the same way. This is the back piece, and this is the upper bodice, the back piece for the upper bodice. This is it, and I've cut out the lining piece as well. This is the front piece, and I've ironed the wording on it, so you can see these are the side pieces. Now I'm going to go ahead and sew this. I'm going to go ahead and join this and join the lining pieces as well, and then iron it neatly. And I will also take out the dart for this back piece, because the lower bodice of this gown does not have a dart. Okay, I don't want it to have a dart. I'm going to go ahead and take out the dart for the upper bodice, and then I will iron it, and we will be ready to start joining these pieces together. Now this fabric, I cut it out for the pockets, like a pocket I'm going to be using to design the lower bodice. I'm going to show us how I'm going to attach this. This is 9 inches by 9 inches on all sides. I've joined the bustier together, as you can see, and I've neatly ironed it. This is it. This is the lining. I've also ironed the lining, and this is the back piece. I've taken out the darts and ironed it, both the lining piece as well. And then this is the lower bodice. I have sewn the lining to the lower bodice, and as you can see, I stopped like 3 inches towards the waistline. This is where I'm going to be joining the upper bodice first, okay? Because I want to conceal this side, because this fabric is going to fray. So this main fabric frays a lot, and I have chosen to use this method to conceal it instead of weaving it. Okay, although weaving it would be nice too, but if you don't want to weave it, you can use this method to conceal it. So this is the front piece, and these are the back pieces. So I'm going to turn this inside out and iron them. Okay, so I've turned it inside out. This is the back piece, the two of them, and I'm going to go ahead and iron this, but not now. So I'm going to set this aside and then sew the top first. Okay, Now this is a rope I made that is going to be for our spaghetti sleeve, right? And I've ironed it as well. So to attach this rope, this is what I'm going to do. As you can see, this place is the right, this other side I made it clean. This is going to be the one that is going to lay to the back. This part will come to the front here. So I'm placing it exactly at the bustier. I'm going to go ahead and sew it, okay? And I'll do the same thing for the back pieces. Only for the back piece, I'm not going to be joining the spaghetti sleeve yet. I'm just going to go ahead and sew. I'm just going to go ahead and sew the end, the top like so, and top stitch it. Also, this is the pocket I'm going to be placing in the front of the skirt, the lower bodice, okay? The lower bodice for the front, and this is what I did. I cut it. So I went ahead to hem all around with 1/4 of an inch folded twice, but at the top here I folded it with 1 inch folded twice. And as you can see, I made a visible fold here and I ironed it so that this line will show. So for this, I am going to go ahead and sew with 1/2 of an inch. So the part I'm marking out, that is part I'm going to sew with 1/2 of an inch, and I'm going to leave the middle, and then I will show us how we're going to attach this to the lower bodice. Here I've gone ahead to sew the chest line for this one, and I top stitched it as you can see, and also did for the back piece, and I've ironed the lower bodice. And now I'm going to be attaching the lower bodice. I'm going to sew the lining piece to lining piece and main fabric to the main fabric, okay? I'm going to sew the lining piece to lining piece and then turn the main fabric the other way and then sew the lining piece to lining piece. This is to conceal all of this sewing inside to give it neat finishing. All right, okay guys, so I had to lose this hemming, okay? The hemming I did at the top and the one I did at the down part. I had to lose it because before you hem it, you have to hold down the part I marked out that you're supposed to hold down, okay, to give it that cargo pant effect. Okay, so you see, this is the 1/2 of an inch. I've sewn it from the top here and sewn from here. So next I am going to now go back and hem it again. So the hemming I loosed, I am going to go ahead and put it back. So when you hem it, you have this, you get, and then of course press down this place, this 1/2 an inch, and it will have this effect. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but if you don't understand this, what I'm explaining now, I'll have to leave a link in the description box on how I make cargo pants so that you can follow the method and you see how you can sew a cargo pocket. Okay, I'm also going to go ahead and now hem this place. All right, I have to just explain that so that you don't get confused. This is it. I have completely concealed it from the inside out, and so this is what we have. Look at how it looks, completely concealed, so that there will be no fraying on the sides. Okay, so with this now you can now go ahead and complete the dress. Remember, we made this place in excess because of the effect I want this dress to have. Okay, so yours might not be as wide as mine, but you understand how this why I made it this wide when you see the finished work. Okay, so this is it, and this is the cup area, neatly ironed and so beautiful. And of course the spaghetti sleeve we have attached. Here are the back pieces. This is it. So I'm going to attach a zipper to this, and you can find a zipper that matches. Now if you look closely, the dark coffee brown here matches this zipper, so I'm going to be using this for my zipper. And I'm not going to sew the zipper all the way to where it ends. I'm going to stop around the hip area. So somewhere around here is where the zip is going to stop, okay? Or you can measure from your hip, from your waistline, you come down to 11 inches, between 9 and 11 inches, okay? And then I'm going to completely cover this place. There will be no need for any slits because the dress is going to be very free around from the hip line all the way down. And while I'm attaching the zipper, I'm also going to go ahead and sew the cargo pocket. Now to attach this cargo pocket, I'm going to be using the dark line here as a guide. So I'm just going to trace this. My chalk, I can clean it out later. Next, what I'm going to do is take this part, now fold in here like so. I'm going to fold in here like this, taking like 1 inch, and I'm going to go ahead and lock that 1 inch. So we're going to take in here like this, 1 inch. So follow that mark and lock here. Do the same thing on this other edge as well. Fold in here, taking 1 inch and sew it. So this is it. I've sewn it. Look at it. Made a little triangle here, a little triangle here, and I'm going to turn it inside out, and this is what you have. Look at that. This is looking like a cargo pocket already. So from the line we have drawn, I'm going to put the marking on the center of the pocket here, pin it. Look at the 1 inch I've taken out here. From here you are going to sew here, sew to this end, and also sew it standing like so. So instead of sewing straight to where this pocket ends, you're going to measure from here to where the triangle ends, about 2 inches. I'm going to measure 2 inches from here. So from this marking here, I'm going to measure 2 inches this way. I will mark it. I'll measure 2 inches the other way. I will mark it. So this 2 inches is where we are going to sew this is where I'm going to sew it like this. So I'm going to go ahead and sew straight line like this. Sew it straight line like this. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to sew it a straight line like this. Get here, turn this way, sew it. Get here, turn it this way, and sew it to keep this standing here. Now, if this explanation doesn't seem to do it for you, like I said, I'm going to be leaving a link in the description box on how to sew a cargo pocket that I have on this channel, so you can check it out and you see both the sewing on the machine, everything on that video. Okay, check that out. All right, so this is just a design. Of course, you can leave your gown here and just compile, join the sides, but this is just a design I want to create on my gown. Okay, so I've gone ahead to sew it. This is the sewing line at the back. Look at that. So I'm taking out this pin now, and this is what we have. This is the cargo pocket. And now, so instead of keeping it this way, we're going to be pressing it down, like put it at the place the same way the center is here. You're going to press this down to touch the hem here, to touch the beginning here, and I'm going to make a 1/2 inch sewing here to keep it down, and I'll repeat the same thing on this side as well. 1/2 inch sewing here, 1/2 inch sewing there, and this pocket will stand like this. Okay, so that is this for this pocket. So I'm going to do that and then attach the zipper for the back, and we will join the sides of this dress, and the dress will be ready. If you have not subscribed at this point, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share it so that this community can grow. I can't wait to see your practicals. You can also share your practicals with us on our Facebook group at Creative Tailoring and Styling. So I'm going to go ahead and join the sides. When I wear it, I will not put the band wherever is most comfortable on my body. That's where I'm going to put in the band, like so.